everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm diving into a topic that many of you have asked me about. What it's really like to be an influencer on one of China's biggest social media platform, Xiaohongshu. I will call it Little Red Book. Yes, maybe you know or maybe you don't. I have a side business that I've been working on for like 6 years, which is social media in China. You've probably heard how it's the place for beauty, for lifestyle and shopping recommendations. It's kind of like Instagram, but with a little different. So today, I will share my personal experience, the highs and lows, and how the influencer landscape in China is changing. Trust me, if you're thinking about diving into this world or just curious, you will want to stick around. Okay, I will start with my journey. I'm originally from China, and many people have this stereotype about Chinese people being hard workers. Well, in my case, it's not far from the truth. I've always struggled a lot. Like I work on a farm, run my YouTube channels, and manage 2 social media accounts in China. I mean the Red Book. So back in August 2023, I was invited to the Red Book 10th anniversary party as a content creator. It was an incredible experience. Not only can meet other influencers I'd only see online before, attending fun events and even enjoying a concert, but it also represents a success and an honor that at least my efforts on Redbook have been recognized. And at that time, I was a pet content creator. Yep, you heard me right. I have 2 adorable Pomeranians who completely stole the show on my channel. I shared their daily lives, from what they ate to their playful moments, and people absolutely love it. Now let me take you back to how it all started. Even though I had a Redbook account for a while, more than 7 or 8 years, I mostly just used it to browse and search for content. Everything changed during the COVID-19 lockdown in 2020. Like many, I was stuck at home in China, and on top of that, I was dealing with tough moments of my personal life and a general sense of insecurity. So one day I came across a pet shop. I randomly met a Pomeranian puppy, and when that little paw touched my hand, oh my God, my heart just melted. It feels like dogs were the only ones that would never betray me. This was a big deal for me because I used to be terrified of dogs, big or small. I'd just avoid them at all costs. But after that moment, I was determined to get a dog. Despite everyone telling me, well, it was a bad idea, just like most things I do, I went ahead and had my first white Pomeranian, Xiaohongshu. He was so naughty, but also incredibly loyal, and he brought so much joy into my life. And a year later, I added a second Pomeranian to the family, a little girl named Cinnamon Roll, named after my favorite pastry. As a first-time dog mom, I turned to Redbook for advice and quickly found myself in creating content, sharing tips and documenting their adventures. And because it was the middle of a pandemic, when everyone was looking for emotional comfort, my content just blew up. In just a few months, my account grew to 40,000 followers. A lot of people, especially during lockdowns, turned to pet content for some much needed happiness. And honestly, what's more heartwarming than a fluffy dog wagging his tail, right? But I soon realized that not everything was as wholesome as it seemed in the pet content world. Many influencers were doing questionable things to their pets just for views, like staging scenarios, dressing them up in uncomfortable outfits, and even telling fake stories. Well, personally, I wasn't comfortable with that. I believe pets are here to bring us companionship, not to exploit it for clicks. So I started posting less frequently. Okay, let's talk about money, because everyone wants to know, how do you actually make a living on Redbook? Well, for influencers, it's similar to platforms like YouTube. I mean, brand sponsorships, ad deals, and collaborations. However, the economic situation in China now has taken a bit recently, and brands aren't spending the way they used to. For example, like back in 2022, Redbook influencers could easily make over 100K a year if they had a large enough followers. But by 2024, only 2 years later, even with the same count, a little more followers, many of us are only making like 10K to 20K a year. And that's if we are lucky. So the golden age of influencer income is fading. Nowadays, live streaming is the biggest moneymaker on Redbook. It's not as popular in Western countries, but in China, it's huge. Mainly because of the logistics system. You can buy something during a live stream and get it delivered the next day. That's called China speed, right? And surprisingly, the price of live streaming is really, really cheap. So unfortunately, it isn't possible for me living in Canada. Shipping just takes too long. After some changes in my personal life, I started a new Redbook account focused on lifestyle and travel vlogs. I applied what I had learned from my pet account, though I hadn't had a viral hit. My content is constant and has a loyal following. However, because I'm living in Canada now, it's tough to get brand deals from China, and live streaming is restricted by platform politics. So in early 2024, a new trend hit China. Many people working at major corporations decided to quit their jobs to become influencers or content creators. Oh my God, it's become a massive movement. I mean, employees from well-known companies left their jobs, created personal brand around their freedom from the corporate world, and quickly gained tens of thousands of followers. The tag "quick to be an influencer" went viral. But soon enough, reality hit. These new influencers find themselves returning to the job market because despite the hype, brands had no money to pay for ads. Making money as content creator is incredibly tough. Many people imagine that, doing social media full-time will give them freedom and allow them to make a lot of money because they see successful creators sharing videos about how much they can earn in a short period, right? Well, this is misleading. Even if their stories are true, it's a classic case of survivor bias. For most people, the best approach is to treat social media as a side hustle. Those influencers who encourage everyone to jump into full-time content creation for the sake of views are, in my opinion, irresponsible. It sets up many young people with dreams of freedom for failure, leaving them in a position where they quit their jobs but find themselves unable to relax or earn a stable income, right? Especially with the current economic downturn in China, the smartest choice might be to stay at your job, keep learning, and wait until you find a real opportunity before taking any major steps. Yes, it's true, creating content can seem like a dream job with no barriers, but the truth is, very few make it in the long run. The market is oversaturated, and if there's no money circulating, even great engagement doesn't pay the bills. Well, sometimes I think about how social media can feel like an illusion. We are all rushing around, creating content, trying to gain followers, but what do we really have at the end of the day? Especially on platforms like Redbook, where most of the traffic, the algorithm you get, depends on the platform's algorithm and promotions. We are, in a way, unofficial employees of Redbook. So when the platform has a new campaign, we follow the prompts, create content, and hope for a little extra reach. Okay, in the past, when brands had big budgets, it was fine. Good steps meant you could negotiate better deals. But now, even accounts with tens of thousands of followers are only getting offers for products trials. It feels like even having great metrics doesn't matter anymore. Of course, I'm not saying that all content creators can't make money, but this price ratio is too low compared with a few years ago. So what's my advice? Well, if you are serious about making social media your career, you have to be willing to keep learning and growing. Consistency is key, and you cannot be afraid to adapt. But if you're just looking for some fun or validation, there might be better ways to spend your time, ways that could bring you more fulfillment. At the end of the day, social media is a tough business. It can be rewarding, but it's also unpredictable. My journey on Redbook has been full of ups and downs, and while I'm loving sharing my content, I've also learned that there are bigger priorities in life, like family, friends, and peace of mind. Thanks for sticking with me through this video. I'm also curious about how YouTube or Instagram has changed and trended over the years. Please drop a comment below if you have any questions or want to share your own social media experiences. Until next time, take care. Bye.